That's our third and final clip on our Gulf spill updates. The last couple of updates. BP pwned by Twitter pranksters, their account hacked. More on that from the Register. And finally, Obama visits the Gulf as BP pushes on with Top Kill. And that is the top of Google News as I speak. BP CEO gives Top Kill 48 hours in Gulf spill. And it should be noted that that last clip we heard from Matt Simmons, energy advisor to W, an advisor to the Oil Depletion Analysis Center, a member of the National Petroleum Council, and the Council on Foreign Relations. Surprise, surprise. Quickly, through the rest of the BioWars and ViroHealth updates, postal workers, part of plan to fight anthrax attacks. There's the further documentation that we were talking about earlier. And our flashback to September of 2008 from MediaMonarchy.com showing you that this is not new. Mailmen may deliver anti-anthrax drugs. We've got an amazing video of Fort Worth police chief promoting hormone therapy. We don't have time for the clip anymore, but all we got to say is, do our cops really need more testosterone? Fears raised of bio attack on World Cup. Tony Blair to earn millions as climate change advisor. New, more potent radioactive material found at Vermont's Yankee nuclear plant. Dr. Andrew Wakefield, the man who connected autism and vaccines, has been disbarred in the UK. A truck carrying 17 million bees crashes in Minnesota. Herbal supplements often have contaminants, study finds, so reports the New York Times, again demonizing natural remedies and natural foods. Codex Alimentarius coming soon. Study says many sunscreens may be accelerating cancer. And our last note is from what they're calling the official trailer, but it's really a sneak preview. It's 10 minutes long. The new documentary, What in the World Are They Spraying? Again, we were going to have a clip, but we don't have time to go into all of that now. But that story becoming more and more important, and again, more and more easy to show folks mainstream documentation on this geoengineering. When you say chemtrails, that makes people think you're a kook. But if you use the precise terms, and that's what it gets into in this trailer for What in the World Are They Spraying, it's geoengineering the atmosphere, put kind of simply. Quickly from the BBC, another suicide at Foxconn, 9th this year at a Chinese iPhone firm. In China, a factory worker died after falling from a high building, the latest in a string of such deaths at the same plant. The man, who was 19, employed by Foxconn, a Taiwanese firm also known as Honhai. The firm makes mobile phones, game consoles, and computers for companies like Apple, HP, and Sony. 9 people have died after falling off buildings at the Foxconn factory this year. 2 were seriously injured, so 11 attempts this year, 9 deaths. Police aren't saying yet whether this was a suicide attempt, a suspicious death, or an accident. It happened just one day after Foxconn started playing music to workers on the assembly line to try and ease the pressure on them. Before this latest incident, the company's founder had denied he worked his staff too hard, but he had promised a plan to improve working conditions within a month.
Well, in our business briefs this morning, Foxconn International is heavily recruiting psychiatric experts in response to a rash of suicides. The Chinese tech company set up a recruitment center to hire 2,000 psychiatrists, counselors, and also human resource instructors, according to a report in the South China Morning Post. So far, 10 employees have tried to kill themselves this year.
And I wish we had more time to spend on that. That's something that's perfect for Lauren Coleman of Copycat Effect. Again, as we try and do the data mining and see the signs and put it all together and help all of us make better decisions by being more informed. Again, forewarned is forearmed. Our last story from the Onion News Network. Biblical Armageddon must be taught alongside global warming. So which man-made idea will kill us all? I'm still deciding.
The Kansas State Supreme Court today has upheld the right of a school district there to present both global warming and the biblical Armageddon as legitimate theories about the end of the world. A documentary made about the controversial Kansas school district will be airing on PBS tonight.
Very good.
In this Kansas City school district, kids are getting a taste of both sides of the story. Teachers here say they use a variety of methods not to give students a definitive answer about how the world will come to a horrific end, but to frame the question.
Now, at the forefront of the debate are Joseph Bowers of the Public Education Initiative, which opposed the ruling, and Anita Conover of Armageddon in the Classroom.
Hello.
Thank you.
Mr. Bowers, what's so wrong with kids being exposed to both views of how they'll die?
Well, first of all, it's a clear violation of the separation of church and state. If you want to teach your kids that they're going to be burnt alive when God pours his fourth bowl of wrath upon the earth, that's fine. Just do it in the church or at home.
Now, I understand, Ms. Conover, you think differently about this.
Yes. Polls show that more than 80% of Americans believe that God exists, and he has an intelligent plan for how we will all die.
Yes, I can understand that can be confusing for a child.
Yes. That's why we say pose both theories simply as questions. Are we doomed because of our moral sins or because of our pollution? And let the children answer for themselves.
Well, the documentary has some very interesting interviews with the kids themselves. Let's take a look.
But some people think that the world's going to end by the world's going to heat up and we're all going to be baked alive. But other people think a monster with 7 heads is going to come out and rip us apart. I'm still deciding.
There's a lot of great exercises. I'll have them all pretend that they're being burned alive by the cleansing fires of heaven, and then I'll have them pretend that they're being swept away by a tsunami, which is washing away all of our major cities. And so it's a lot of fun.
Well, as we can clearly see from this clip, this school is spending valuable class time on religious theories, meaning that there's less time to teach these kids about how the seas are going to be acidified by pollution.
Excuse me, the seas will turn to blood.
No, kids need to know this.
That's ridiculous. In the 50s, most schools taught kids that mankind would be brought to an end either by God or by skin-melting nuclear bombs. There is room for more than one idea in our classrooms.
Yes, I understand. Well, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Now, next up, MTV scientists have discovered a previously unfilmed species of asshole.
Constitutional debate continues over whether public schools should include biblical Armageddon alongside global warming in end-of-world curriculum. Now, no offense to my Christian friends, but that's just too good to pass up. And it reminds me of something that we touched on in my recent conversation with Tracy Twyman on the Invisible Hand podcast, tracytwyman.com. Seemingly every group that people are involved in is some kind of end-of-the-world cult, whether that's Christian or Muslim or global warming or what have you. It's like we're all battling over which way we're all going to be destroyed. And that's not how we want to go, put quite simply. Put quite quickly, my friends, let's quickly look at some of the creepy customers coming to MediaMonarchy.com in the past week. Marriott, New York, LaGuardia Airport, for some reason their IP routing out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. We had NASA again out of Cocoa, Florida. We had the NCAA out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and out of Leavenworth, Kansas, and Atlanta, Georgia, the USAISC headquarters. Military, private, military, industrial complex, sports, hotels, airports, NASA, all visiting Media Monarchy. So should you, my friends. Again, no live show next week. Media Monarchy on the road at the 10th Annual Conspiracy Con. So much more to come. Stay tuned to MediaMonarchy.com for all this and so much more. My friends, I appreciate it. My name's James Evan Pilato, your host and webmaster of MediaMonarchy.com, telling you to get active or get radioactive. Take care.
MediaMonarchy.com is your source for alternative news, politics, conspiracies and cover-ups. Featuring weekly radio shows on the Portland Radio Authority, PRAradio.org, the New World Next Week video series with CorbettReport.com, plus special interview episodes, B-sides, mixtapes and so much more. Send news tips to MediaMonarchy@gmail.com. You can make a donation, or mail media to the Monarchy, at P.O. Box 12165, Portland, Oregon 97212. Thanks to all the internet and community radio stations who broadcast these shows, and most of all, thanks to you. Remember, don't hate the media, become the media.
Whether you went on with the diary, or whether you did not go up with it, made no difference. The thought police would get him just the same.